Yo, the age-old battle between the pretty blonde and the awkward redhead continues in Congress as current White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt clashes with Biden administration Press Secretary Jennifer Psaki. They're calling this the Secretary Swingers Party. Yo, my name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Don't that sound like a good ass porno, doesn't it? Yeah, but yeah, no. No, YouTube. It's almost the exact opposite of that. The whole story I'm about to dive into is about how sick and twisted politics has become to the point to where they will even use trans mass shooting at a Catholic school to promote their agenda. Is disgusting. I'm disgusted by it. And that situation is basically how the cat fight in Congress jumped off. Trumpito and his Avengers were online posting about their grief for the victims of the Minnesota shooting, and offering their thoughts and prayers to the people. And then the former press secretary Jenny Psaki got on her show and said, I don't know why all y'all talking about offering prayers when those children were literally in church praying when they got attacked. Basically to say prayer doesn't work. Yeah. It wasn't enough to keep, she said, this is our quote, it wasn't enough to keep those children safe. But I bet the parents of the other 17 kids that weren't unalived feel very differently. He had 3 rifles, more than 100 rounds. Praise God that he did not have the nuts to go inside of the building and shoot it up instead of shooting from outside the window. You get it? He didn't have the nuts. Yeah, anyway, this is America's 44th school mass shooting this year, and it's the consecutive trans mass shooter. Um, yeah, this is really a thing in America. Like, we really have men that cut their man parts off and then shoot at little kids at churches. That is crazy. And instead of these Democratic politicians recognizing what is obvious is that evil exists and has begun waging war on the good, news broadcasters like Jenny Psaki and vampires like Gavin Newsom are using this to push, push their agenda and to push the regular people further away from God. And that's why Carolyn Leavitt ended up just beating her predecessors red-headed to the ball. Now, YouTube, that I don't condone violence, but watching blonde bombshell Carolyn Leavitt, beat up Biden admin, blister face ass, it was good. It was hot. I would say that it was hot. Yo, make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
Welcome back. The White House slamming MSNBC host Jen Psaki yesterday. She's a former Biden White House press secretary, and she criticized people for offering thoughts and prayers in the aftermath of Wednesday's church school shooting. Here is current press secretary Karoline Leavitt's response.
I saw the comments of my predecessor, Ms. Psaki, and frankly, I think they're incredibly insensitive and disrespectful to the tens of millions of Americans of faith across this country who believe in the power of prayer. It's disrespectful to the millions of Americans of faith. And I would encourage Ms. Psaki to pray for these families themselves who need it right now more than ever.
And we want to bring in Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Thanks for being here on set. That's a treat for us, indeed. Jen Psaki addressed this last night on her show. Let's watch.
People in power, like, say, people in the White House, who are using their platforms to do anything other than call for action for sensible gun safety measures. They're doing anything else, like attacking me, which is a waste of time. They're doing anything but saying what should be done to help prevent tragedies like the shooting in Minneapolis. And because they're not doing that, frankly, they're not doing enough. And people shouldn't accept they're doing enough.
I'll get your thoughts. I know that prayer is an important part of your life and your thinking this morning.
Well, it's incredible to me that Jen Psaki and Gavin Newsom and others would attack religion, diminish the faith of millions of Americans at a time of such great tragedy. There are a lot of common sense solutions, things that can be done to protect children at schools and in churches that do not involve taking away the constitutional rights of law-abiding American citizens. This is not a time to politicize these issues. We mourn for the the families, the community that's affected there. I don't know if you saw, I'm sure you guys saw the father's remarks yesterday for that little boy who was lost, Fletcher Merkel. Just, it's such a heart-wrenching thing for all of us. And at the end of the day, the problem is not guns, okay, Jen Psaki? The problem is the human heart. It's mental health. There are things that we can do, solutions that we can come together to handle, but this is not the time to be.
Do you think specifically that there has to be some sort of accountability on the transgender front?
I think so. I mean, there's a common denominator to so much of this, right? The last one of these school shootings that we all saw and remember was another transgender. I mean, this is a mental health component to this that cannot be overlooked, and I think lawmakers and policymakers need to look at that very carefully.
Gavin Newsom decided to throw a tweet up yesterday that's getting a whole lot of attention, essentially implying that prayer doesn't work. He said, quote, these children were literally praying as they got shot at, and that was in response to a clip of Karoline Leavitt saying that people should believe in the power of prayer. That now has almost 7 million views online, and it has enraged conservatives. Your thoughts?
It should enrage conservatives. Gavin Newsom is ridiculous. He's become a caricature of something. I don't have words to respond to that. I cannot believe that he's gone that low to get attention, and that's what this is about.
Well, he's getting it, and some of the numbers show that sometimes the Democrats are responding to that. But the other thing that he's doing is trying to figure out a way to get on the fighting crime train. And President Truth posted this yesterday. President Trump. President Truth also. I think he might like that name.
Yo, now check it out. I'm not super religious or nothing like that, but I am living proof that God is really real. God is real and prayer works. Look, if something bad happens, like say a crazy transvestite goes to your school, your kid's school, and starts firing more than 100 rounds at them, you know what I'm saying? When your child comes home, you are supposed to praise God. Period. you dumb devil worshiping Democrats. Like I said, I'm not super religious at all, but I do know when I was in the streets, doing my thing, this little boy, he shot me in my face, and the bullet went through my main artery in my neck, and then it came out. You can't repair the main artery. Then it came out through the middle of my spinal cord, and I died immediately. They pronounced me dead on the news. My baby mama told my son that I was dead, but my mama told me that when she got to the hospital, I was still in a coma, and she said the doctors came up to her and they told her, if he lives, which he probably won't live, he will never move his body again. For real. And I didn't deserve another chance. I was a demon, you know what I mean? But my mama said that she closed her eyes and she talked to God. She prayed to God real quick, and then she told the doctor, nah, he's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? For real. She said he's gonna be okay. Do you think that when I got out the hospital, I was like, yo, I'm immortal. I can't be killed. I'm gonna live forever. Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I was exactly like that. But I knew the truth that God is. Period. And you stupid if you don't believe that. I don't even like using that word, but you dumb if you don't believe that. Yo, I'm proud of Karoline Leavitt. Another W for the Blondes. I'm sorry, Reds. Y'all really got to do better, Redheads and Democrats. You know what I'm saying? And for future references, bad stuff is supposed to make us recognize how much we need to support each other, how much we need to pray more, how much we need to appreciate our family. It's not supposed to make you say, see, I told you God wasn't real. Who does that? Evil is real. Clearly, it's not even hiding no more. Anybody who attacks children who are defenseless is not normal. You know what I'm saying? Just like somebody who cuts off their man parts. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's shooting at kids, man, they are not normal. They are evil. You know? And evil doesn't even hide no more. So now it's not black or white. It's not even really Democrat, Republican. It's literally good versus evil. Which side are you on? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Until next time. Peace.